The more things change, the more they stay the same. You may have heard that phrase, popular one. It has been around for a long, long time. And apparently with good reason, as we're seeing with Caitlin Clark. We are in year 3 of Caitlin Clark's WNBA career, and we are still dealing with the same absolute nonsense from the same cast of characters. The Haitlins, the Slows, they don't have the intelligence to change their approach. It is the same old attacks on you, the Caitlin Clark fans, who you are, what you are. We have Joy Taylor. I want to play a clip for you from Joy Taylor. Y'all remember Joy Taylor? No? I used to talk about how, hey, did so and so Joy Taylor their way into their position when they would come up with a very, very, very bad take? Well, Joy Taylor got her jobs, apparently, or I should say at least one of them. Maybe it was just a promotion. The very, very, very old-fashioned way, if you catch my drift, if you understand my meaning, which I'm sure most of you do. If not, think about it. It'll come to you. So Joy Taylor decided she was going to talk about Caitlin Clark. Let's take a listen because we've got some things we got to talk about with Joy Taylor here. By the way, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate all of your support. And if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please take a second to do that. It means everything. The channel does not exist without it. That's just the flat out truth. It doesn't matter if I am great at this. I'm not saying I'm in. I'm just saying it doesn't matter if I am, if all of you don't take a moment to do things like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, all right, let's take a listen. This isn't very long. We've got to take a listen. We're going to talk about this. And then I think I might throw a little Jamel Hill in here as well, just to top things off. This is wild.
Look, Caitlin has become an incredibly controversial figure in sports. She has a very feral fan base, not always necessarily the most educated fan base when it comes to the W and the difference in the culture and the style of play. We've certainly seen that. There's been a lot of complaints about her and her relationship and antics with on the court and also particularly with the referees.
Yeah, I can't. We're about halfway, but I can't let it go. I mean, talk about dropping bombs right off the top. Joy Taylor, respectfully, you're a very ignorant human being. Um, and from everything I've heard from you, including the beginning of this, I know that there would, you would be one who would use cultural appropriation, and yet there you are with your very, very blonde, straight hair, not your natural hair. I'm just saying, personally, I don't care, but not afraid, a friend, not a fan, I'll get to it, of hypocrisy. So, wow, right off the bat, you're feral. That is a very, very specific word. She is talking about you, Caitlin Clark fans. Caitlin Clark fans are feral and uneducated. Wow, this is like, oh, sometimes I don't, sometimes I just don't even know what to do with this. As you can hear, I get a little tongue-tied because I'm trying to keep from saying very, very certain things that will probably end my YouTube time. Joy, Um, 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 oh, sorry, I was channeling Stephanie White. I would be very, very happy to compare education if you'd like to do that, or, if you want to even just not specifically talk about formal education, but compare our basketball and knowledge in terms of our analysis of how the game is played, in terms of our analysis of how Caitlin Clark plays the game. Let's go for it. Come on. We'll talk. We'll see how educated you are. And hey, you know what? Get this. You won't even have to Joy Taylor your way into coming on to the channel. How about that? Because actually that would be doing me a huge favor to not have to Joy Taylor you. I anyway, well, we're gonna keep going.
I hope that the way that the rest of the season goes, it really gets back to basketball with her. On Monday, she did what she is famous for, which is hitting a clutch three-pointer, this one being a game-winning three-pointer to beat the Washington Mystics. Coach Stephanie White, who drew up a play that got Caitlin Clark that shot from deep.
Before we continue, I just because she's gonna finish this thought a little more and go after the fans once again. I already broke it down. There is no way. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that Sophie Cunningham came out and took one for the team and talked on her podcast about how it's exactly how it was drawn up. That play was not drawn up for Caitlin Clark to be the first option. Period. End of discussion. End of story. You want to get into uneducated. You want to get into narratives. Anyone who says that Caitlin Clark was the first option on that play and it was done as it was drawn up is doesn't know basketball or they're lying. And I'm not being hyperbolic there. That is the flat out truth. No good basketball coach. Hey, wait, maybe there's the key. Good. No good basketball coach draws up that play in that situation. You do not throw laterally from one side to the other. And as you all noticed, Sophie Cunningham didn't even have the strength to make that a good pass. It was lucky. No shade to Sophie. She recognized the breakdown in the defense, which gave her the time to throw a very soft, very slow pass that almost didn't even get there. Thank you, Washington Mystics' incompetent defense. But there is no way ever that Caitlin Clark is the number one option. And of course, she said Stephanie White drew up the play because she wants to now go after the fans. Stephanie White herself. Let's back up. Let's back the truck up and everything I just said and say, oh yeah, that was the play. Stephanie White herself said she did not draw up the play. So once again, we have an absolute moron, ignorant moron attacking you, calling you feral, saying you're uneducated about the game, and then 10 seconds later, she is wrong in what she says about a specific play, something she could have checked very, very easily. This blows my mind. Like this, it's hard sometimes for me to wrap my brain around the mentality of someone who can sit there and lash out and put down the education and the intelligence of others, and then 2 seconds later proving how stupid, moronic, uneducated, and ignorant they are. Wow.
Said after the game that sometimes we take great players and certainly generational talent for granted. So I like seeing this moment and her having the opportunity to get that win.
Well, isn't that nice of you after your vitriolic attacks on Caitlin Clark fans and then also on Caitlin Clark with her antics on the court? The antics that have been insane since college, the antics that we have found in many, 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 many other players in the WNBA too, right? I mean, I know people commented from the other game, if y'all caught it, where Skylar Diggins and Caitlin Clark had a moment, a hand slap and a laugh. Speaking of somebody who crashes out all the time, Skylar absolutely crashes out all the time. I mean, do we even need to talk about Diana Taurasi? But that was all good. It's only when Caitlin Clark has moments on the court that it is a big deal. So Joy Taylor, you attack Caitlin Clark's fans, and then you proved yourself to be breathtakingly ignorant of something that on which you are reporting, which is kind of odd, don't you think? That maybe you might, I don't know, want to be better prepared. But man, I mean, I guess I'll finish up. This is Nothing has changed with all of you, the Caitlin Clark fans, right? You rooted for her in college, and that's all you did, and you rooted for her. And then you get to the WNBA, and now there's a narrative shift, and you are public enemy number one, and you react, as I do, to the constant attacks, and now you're all these horrible things. And really, you just want to be left alone to enjoy watching Caitlin Clark play basketball. It's like And gosh, in this day and age, it probably happens a lot, right? It's like the bully at school, bullying the little kid day in and day out and day in and day out for, years. And then the kid finally fights back and the kid's the problem, right? The bully's the victim and the kid's the problem now. Same type of thing. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on Joy Taylor. And hey, if you want to make it that kind of comment section and make it a little messy, did you ever Joy Taylor your way into a position, ladies or gentlemen? Gentlemen can do it as well. I think it's a little tougher on them. I think they're a lot more eager to do so, but not quite having the same opportunities as it is in the other direction. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.